We've all had a massage at some point, right? But have you ever stopped to think about what separates a pretty good massage from a truly great one? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the art and the science that takes a simple treatment and turns it into something really special. Okay, let's dive in. So yeah, here it is, the big question. What's the real difference? And you know, the answer is a lot deeper than you might think. It's not just about having the right technique. A truly amazing massage is this whole symphony of the environment, the intention, and believe it or not, a little bit of biology. So, where does the whole story start?
Well, it all begins with our body's biggest organ, and honestly the one we probably think about the least, our skin. I mean, just take a second to consider what your skin goes through every single day. It's being pushed, pulled, stretched. It is our first line of defense against, well, everything, and it takes on a ton of stress.
So let's unpack that a little. What does it really mean for our skin to be under pressure? To get that, we kind of have to zoom in and see what's going on at a much closer level. It's pretty incredible, actually. Our skin has this amazing natural defense system built right in. You can almost think of it as a biological shock absorber. It's this protective layer that shields us from all the little bumps and scrapes of daily life, keeping everything inside safe and sound.
But here's the thing, when that protective layer starts to thin out from just, constant use, our skin gets way more exposed. This is when you start to see things like calluses forming on spots that get a lot of stress, like the palms of your hands or the soles of your feet. That's just your body's way of building up a little extra armor and kind of signaling that it could use some support.
And that's exactly where the idea of the modern massage comes into play. It's that extra support our bodies are literally asking for, but it's grown into so much more than a simple physical fix. It's become what our source calls a true ritual.
Which of course brings up a really good question. How is the massage profession actually adapting to this deeper need? Because it's not just about working out the knots in our muscles anymore. It's about responding to our whole sense of well-being, both in body and mind.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. The old way was super mechanical, right? It was all about the manual techniques, just focusing on the muscles. But the new approach? It's holistic. It's all about creating a sensory, personalized experience, a ritual of well-being that takes your mind just as seriously as your body.
So what in the world is a ritual of well-being? Well, it's an experience that's designed from start to finish to engage your mind just as much as your body. The whole point is to guide you to this place of deep, conscious relaxation where all that noise from the outside world just kind of fades away.
So how do you actually create this powerful ritual? Well, it all starts with setting the stage. The ambiance isn't just a nice little extra, it's an absolutely essential part of the whole experience.
And building that perfect atmosphere is almost like following a recipe. There are 3 key ingredients. First, a closed, private room. Second, soft, subdued lighting. And third, as close to total silence as you can possibly get. Each one of these plays a really critical role. See, the closed room gives you that sense of privacy and lets you really concentrate, and the therapist too. The dim light helps your eyes relax, which in turn helps your busy mind relax. And the silence? That creates this protected little bubble, a safe space where you feel you can completely let go and surrender to the experience. Okay, so we've set the stage on the outside. But while that perfect environment is doing its thing, something just as cool is happening on the inside. Let's talk about your body's amazing internal climate control system, because it's a huge player in all this. The scientific term for it is thermoregulation. Sounds fancy, but all it means is it's the natural, automatic process your body uses to keep its core temperature stable. It doesn't matter if it's freezing cold or boiling hot outside, this system is always working in the background to keep you balanced. And one of the most important tools thermoregulation uses is something we all know very well, sweating or perspiration. It's our body's #1 way of releasing heat and cooling down. And it has a surprisingly big role in a great massage, because if the room is at the perfect temperature, your body doesn't have to work so hard to regulate itself. But here's a cool fact you might not know. There are actually 2 different kinds of perspiration. Over on the left, you've got sensible perspiration. That's the sweat you can see and feel on a hot day. But on the right, there's insensible perspiration. This is a super subtle, invisible layer of humidity your skin is always releasing, even when you're cool. A great therapist gets this and creates an environment where your body can just be. It doesn't have to work to warm up or cool down, which lets you relax even more deeply. And that, right there, is the big takeaway. When a massage professional understands the whole picture,
From what your skin needs, to the power of the right atmosphere, to the quiet little biological processes happening inside you, they become more than just a technician. They become what our source so beautifully calls a facilitator of equilibrium and regeneration.
So what's the lesson for us? I mean, a professional massage might be a once-in-a-while thing, but the ideas behind it are things we can all use. How can you create your own little rituals of well-being at home? Maybe it's just turning down the lights and putting on some quiet music for 10 minutes, or just taking a moment to check in with your body and ask what it needs. It's a powerful reminder that self-care isn't a luxury, it's just an essential part of finding our balance. Thanks so much for tuning in.